Alright everybody, this is my official Tupac movie review, and I hope to do it justice in a very short amount of time. But before I give it to you, allow me to introduce myself. My name is JTE, that's short for Jesse Thomas Eternal, and everybody know me as one of Tupac's biggest fans. I refer to him as my big brother. He has inspired me greatly, like he's inspired so many. My first album is entitled Pac and MJ Protege, if that's any indication of what he means to me. Also, before I get into this review, I want to give a big shout out to Benny Boone, LT Hutton, Demetrius Shipp Jr., the writers of this movie, and all the actors. I gotta tell you this, I have my own mind, my own opinion, and I'm turned off by a lot. Just to give you a quick thumbs up, I'm gonna just say this right off the bat. I thoroughly enjoyed the movie. If anything, the House of Blues scene could have been tapered a little bit, but overall, I'm not trying to be negative, but surprisingly, I liked it. Better than Straight Outta Compton. I enjoyed Straight Outta Compton. I don't even want to be negative drawing comparisons, but it's a lot of people went in on this movie, and I greatly appreciated it. Also, before I dig in deeper, I just want to say this. Me as a fan, a hardcore fan, see a lot of people who was actually close to Pac and knew him. Some of them feel like they are more fit to speak on him than others. When the truth of the matter is, it's nameless people in the world who don't have fortune and fame, who was impacted and digested Pac's words even more so than friends and family who was around them. You can't underestimate that or devalue that. I'm trying to say, when he made that statement about sparking the brain that will change the world, 9 times out of 10, it's not going to come. That brain is not going to be in Pac's circle. It's going to be some little boy, some little girl out some remote place or inner city or something like that. It could potentially be me, but I'm not even harping on that. The way I feel as a hardcore fan, there's nothing else that needs to come out about Pac. This feels like the closure that we've been waiting for. And I was disappointed like everyone else waiting. It was a waiting game. But they did their due diligence. Tupac's mom was honored in this. And despite Jada Pinkett's comments, I respect her comments. And I don't take away from her comments, but I just feel like that was a nice gesture. I feel like this was heavily based upon Tupac's life, and they took creative liberties in a very tasteful way that enhanced the story. I greatly appreciate it. But the point I want to make before I run out of time on my camera is I feel like this is the closure. Anything else that come out with Pac would be a bonus. But me as a fan, I'm satisfied with the whole body of work that has come out. That's including what he did in his lifetime and then posthumously. He had 7 albums. When he was alive, it was 9 platinum albums, as they described. 713 songs, 7 movies, and I don't know the whole calculation, what they're calculating, but things that stand out in my mind. I was very much prepared. With all the negative reviews I got, my heart was broken because I wanted it to be something great, and I'm glad I didn't. I'm glad I was able to watch this movie on my own time, and come up with my own conclusion. And the heart don't lie. I'm being honest on how I feel. with all the negative reviews that was coming in, I was prepared to say this. If this movie didn't live up to its expectations, I was going to say, they tried. But for all you I was going to comfort the fans. I was going to say, for all you fans out there who was let down with this movie, you have one body of work of Tupac that came out that we got to be happy with. And that was the documentary / movie that came out entitled Tupac Resurrection. Man, that was so brilliantly done. I think a lot of his peers that fell into the hater category, they was hating on that one because it was something that they can only dream of. I feel like a lot of your favorite artists, some of my favorite artists too that grew on me, they were still in competition they were still competing with Pac even after death. You can tell with some of the moves they making that they made, and I'm not gonna say no names, and that's a good thing when people are inspiring, that people inspire you, But it's kind of difficult. It's a tough pill to swallow when you're being inspired by a rival of yours. You know what I'm saying? So I can read between the lines very well, but it was just brilliant. People forgot about it because it's been a long time ago when Resurrection came out. It was so brilliantly done. We felt like we got a chance to have Pac back with us again in that documentary / movie because it was done in his own words. It was beautiful. And so, of course, us Tupac fans, our appetite for him is so insatiable, we couldn't get enough. All those albums that was coming out. But everything that came out, we was loving it and hating at the same time because it was over criticism. And this movie is no exception. And I hear what people saying about the actor who portrayed Tupac. But he did a damn good job as far as I'm concerned. You know what I'm saying? He didn't take away from it. Did he live up to Pac 110%? Maybe not, but it was good enough for me. You know what I'm saying? Was it a Ray Charles, Jamie Foxx situation? Was it a Denzel Washington, Malcolm X situation? No, but not far from it. Man, he did a damn good job. They did justice, and the story was incredible. The beautiful actress that played Tupac's mom, she reminded me of Lauryn Hill and then some. I fell in love with her character, and it was so many scenes. It was several scenes, and I don't want to run time because I can get long-winded. The one scene when Tupac confronted his mom when he caught her, buying drugs. He had Pac's mannerism down, and there's been criticism about the pace of the movie. The pace of the movie wasn't so bad for me. I mean, and there was criticism about how they would jump from one scene to the next scene. I think it was a beautiful mosaic because it's only so much of his life that they could embody in there. But I didn't get the sense that it was rushed. I feel like they brilliantly compact that movie within that 2-hour span. I mean, it was amazing. I mean, I feel like it was so much in Tupac's life that they was able to touch on some things in very significant ways. If there's any complaint, like I said, certain scenes with the music maybe could have been tapered a little bit, but right when you might about to get bored, it switches up. But I love how they show his work ethic, going from one studio to the next. You know what I'm saying? I can appreciate that. That was something that was well thought out. I love, the relationship that they established between him and his mom. It was teary. It was some teary moments for me. And then I was hoping that they took a note from Biggie's movie. Because when that moment came, when he got shot in the car, it was just so sad. And I was like, man, they're going to leave you like that with that sad feeling. But if you stick around and watch the credits roll up and the music that plays with the credits, it uplifts you right away. So the movie ended on a high note. And I loved it. I loved it, man. I loved it. And I'm gonna have to go back and watch Straight Outta Compton again. I mean, I really enjoyed it. I watched it with my wife. I mean, I thoroughly enjoyed it. And I wish I could retract what I said in the beginning and rephrase it another type of way, but I know I'm running out of time. But they just made it seem like Straight Outta Compton set this huge bar, and the Tupac movie felt very short. For me, I feel satisfied. Wow, I'm inspired. You know what I'm saying? I want to be great in my own right and to do my thing. You know what I'm saying? And I try to take some notes, and it's a lot of stuff that's escaping me right now. One of my favorite scenes when he was in prison, and the OG stepped in and checked one of the other inmates. That was powerful. The Tupac and Biggie scene, the after show scene, I love that relationship that they had right there. And that was another one of those little moments where here and there it's like, whoa, I kind of forgot that I thought he was a real Tupac for a minute there. It was a couple little moments, you know. And he may not embody Tupac 110%, but when he wasn't embodied, when he didn't, when you didn't get that full Tupac experience from him, he made up for it with his spirit. I mean, he delved all the way into that character. I'm happy. That's the best way I can say it. When he met Ted Fields, I mean, I like that scene. Yeah, I love how they put those little nuances in the movie, like things that true Pac fans know about. When he called this guy goat mouth, you know what I'm saying? When he having a confrontation with these guys at the park. When he was with Quincy Jones's, daughter, he had married her, and she made reference to him getting him off that Hennessy and buffalo wing diet. That was pretty cool. It's just stuff for Tupac heads, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, like I said before, the lady who played his mom, her, when she wasn't acting, when she wasn't like talking, her facial expression was telling the whole story. I feel I got some closure with Pac right now. You know what I'm saying? It's like, wow. Now the message is it's time for us to be great. All the true fans. I'm stalling because it's one little more point I want to make. I feel like I need to make. I think it may have been the scene. I love the soundtrack. You know what I'm saying? When they put that SWV in there, when he was with Quincy Jones's daughter. I wish I could say her name right now, but when he's reflecting on his life. You know what I'm saying? They did a good job of letting you know the possibilities of what Pop could have been if he would have lived, and how your decisions can ultimately change the outcome of your life. What if he never left that hotel room with his wife, and instead of going to Vegas? And all those different type of things. You know what I'm saying? I love how they incorporated the realism in there, like the new real news clips and real the Las Vegas fight scene, the security footage. They covered so much. And for those criticizing about the pace was too fast right when you getting into one scene, that's for you to go read about. Because they can't that's for you to go read about if you want to really know. But I was satisfied. I mean, to me, and I think I'm on this note, like my next album, God willing, it comes to fruition, it's going to be entitled New Negro Spirituals. And that's just a phrase that's, that's the title that I've chose for more reasons than one, but it's basically going to be dealing with Black history as well. And what I would like to achieve in this is what was achieved in this movie, to summarize something so big and complex in a short amount of time. Matter of fact, I seen a cartoon where it was talking about I think the history of America and the rise of America. It was amazing. It was done in 2 minutes, but it was so beautiful how they went through the whole deal. So for those who want to have the gaps filled in, you got to go read about it. But for someone who's already a Pac fan, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I knew the deliberate things that they was putting in the movie and why they did it. And I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I think I give props to all the actors. And like I said, all of the Thug Angels. Tupac has a body of work, at the age of 25. And he didn't get a chance to live to see his work, and he left his work ethic. He left so much behind that, it's like he checked out. And it's like you got that smart person in class, and y'all taking this test, and then that smart person get up, they already finished with the test, they walk out. So they got another hour to kill while everyone else is still taking tests. It was sad to see him leave, but to me, those are little indications. Like they say, the good die young. Those are indications that God has put their hand on somebody. For him to accomplish so much in such a short amount of time, and the beauty of all of his contradictions, and he was human. You know what I'm saying? He was Black Jesus, and no pun intended. But like the government talk about the rise of a Black Messiah, he fit that prototype of being almost Masonic type of figure. Those voices that you can't deny. Like people always wonder why, like, man, what is the big deal about this Tupac guy? Because they can only thing they could pay attention to is the negativity. When his negativity was his humanity that connect him to brothers in the street, in the everyday person. But there was a duality to him, to where you saw he had that prolific voice. And there was better rappers out there, I don't know what you want to call it. And people, he had that it factor. That was the difference. In church, they talk about the person who had the anointing. You get someone up there singing, and they doing incredible things with their voice, but they not moving the people. But then you get someone up there who's anointed. Their voice sounds good, but not as good as the incredible singer. But yet they are the one that's moving the crowd, because they got that it factor. They got their anointing. And Tupac, and Michael Jackson's, all those prolific figures. They had that it factor. That's the ones who are chosen and touched by God. You know what I'm saying? So I just wish I could end this on a perfect note. I'm reaching the 20-minute mark, so at least I can say, okay, I have a 20-minute video and that's it. But I don't know what else to say. But thank you, Tupac. I love you. You were sent to us. Just like Black Jesus. We all want to be more like Jesus. I love the gospel song they put towards the end, No Apologies. Like the little nuances when he's talking about the ghetto gospel. You know what I'm saying? And showing his vulnerability and stuff like that. So, we all need to be like Pac in a way. You know what I'm saying? And that's my time. Peace and love to Pac's family and all the fans worldwide. All right, everybody. Through the magic of video, I'm able to double back and hit you guys with this afterthought in regards to the Straight Outta Compton comparisons. There is no comparison. Both of them are great movies. It reminds me of Malcolm X and Dr. King, so to speak. How people are always in the business of drawing comparisons and causing division. Me personally, I love Dr. King as well as Malcolm X. And Straight Outta Compton, basically, the reason that was so enjoyable, not only was it a great movie, it represents the soundtrack of my life coming up. I got pictures of me rocking Chronic t-shirts. So Ice Cube and Snoop and Dr. Dre, man, I was living in the projects during that time, and our life was completely different than those who lived outside our complex. And that's why I can relate so much to the movie Straight Outta Compton. You know what I'm saying? That hood life, hood fun, homies, and all those things like that. And truth be told, Tupac, those guys, one of the many pioneers that paved the way for Tupac. But the only thing is, Tupac, had another element to him. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, he was that Jesus prototype. You know what I'm saying? It's like a comment I wanted to make earlier was in regards to the people who actually knew Tupac personally and want to feel like they're the only ones qualified to speak on his life. Much like the Jesus character, it was the people nearest to Jesus who had a problem receiving him and respecting his God-given ability and purpose in life. Because these people couldn't see past the fact that it's the same Tupac that I grew up with. Who do he think he is? He ain't nobody. This is the same Jesus that I grew up with. I know his mom and dad, Mary and Joseph. Who do you think he is? So strangers who are unbiased and don't have anything to hold against you, those are the ones who are able to receive you as you are and respect your craft and your game. Friends and family, sometimes they get so caught up in relationships, and I've learned in my short days upon this earth that as much as we love friends and family, oftentimes they can be overrated. You know what I'm saying? Because you wind up having strangers who, ironically, are more supportive. So that's all I'm gonna say. Straight Outta Compton, represent a significant part of my life. That movie was very, nostalgia, is that what you call it? And then Tupac, he represented my adulthood, coming of age. And he introduced me more to my masculinity. And what I mean by that is like, he came through with that voice of celebrating manhood. A lot of what we're missing nowadays with this new era where masculinity it seems to be under attack. You know what I'm saying? It's like men are being feminized and women are being masculinized. You know what I'm saying? And this, no pun intended to genders. I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about the I don't even know how you call it, but there's this thing that's going on right now. The culture. Those who are behind pushing the culture, and the same people that the business of fashion and stuff like that, how you dictate culture and you celebrate and popularize certain things, make certain things acceptable that go against a lot of people's core principles and values and stuff like that. And next thing you know, what's right is wrong, what's wrong is right. It's like, it's crazy. I'm gonna end on that note before I get myself in trouble. I'm out.